So you see Anne mentioned these WordPress Playground docs and then 3 different types of APIs and so on, which we're not going to look at in great detail because we haven't got time. I mean, too long. So let's go on and do the too long, don't read playground@wordpress.net. We'll start up a playground and then we'll go and have a look at some of the different options that are now available and see how different they might be from the current, from those videos. So it's back to, is it that one? No, that's not the right one. Oh yeah, it might be. Back to here. So I'm in a playground. Am I? And lo and behold, we're displaying some PHP info stuff, which we'll come to a bit later on. Now, what's happened here? The bits that we usually saw at the top have disappeared. And I don't understand how that happened. So I'm going to start up another playground. These are the bits I was talking about at the top. So let's start up a new playground and it'll be straightforward WordPress 6.7, I suppose, with PHP something, and the theme will be 2025. And why isn't it as quick as when they did it?
It was slow like this when I tried it. Slow is perhaps a provocative word, but
my system says low system resources may affect your audio quality. That's nothing to do with that, is it?
no, it might mean why I can't hear very well.
Well, there we go. So we started up. So there's this top bit. This is supposed to show you where the URL is, and these are the settings. This is the settings button you pressed, and there's another button you pressed over here. And if I go to the dashboard, it now shows that I'm in WP admin. So I think you can use this to navigate it rather than using the address bar here to navigate it. So we can go into plugins and add a new plugin. She talked about something to do with turning on networking, and it produces this message here. But if you just go and click on upload plugin and choose a plugin file, it will let you do it anyway. So I don't know what that was about. So I've installed a plugin. Now I'm going to try to activate.
What that is about is that you can't, it's not connected to the internet, so you can't browse the WordPress doc, blah, 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 and import your plugins the normal way.
Yeah, although if you did it on the command line, it is connected to the internet because it would install it. If you did it with started it with and plugin equals.
That's what Adam was showing in his video.
Yeah.
So yeah, we first did it locally and then said that go even faster if I do this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sort of is connected, but it isn't connected. But there you go. So I'm going to activate this plugin. It's going to produce a message to say that didn't work or something's going to happen. And I've now activated a very simple plugin called PHP Info. What I'm going to do now is, so this is a plugin I wrote today in about 2 lines of code. And it's not very well written. I'm going to create a new post and I'm going to add a short code called PHP Info. And the reason I'm doing this is because some people want to know, how can you tell if you're running in the playground environment? And I tried the same thing. So I'm going to put a shortcode in there of PHP Info. I'm going to try to save it. And it will complain now. And the reason it's going to complain is because my program has displayed some output it wasn't supposed to do. But never mind, it will work. It will publish it. If I go to now visit that post, we will see PHP info. So you can see it is running WordPress PHP version 8, and the system is called WASM32, and there's some other stuff here that they probably supposed to keep hidden from us all. If I scroll right down though, this is the PHP info output that was just output directly to with an echo or by PHP info and not as part of a shortcode. So this is why it appears before WordPress comes along. And what I wanted to see was that this thing here is the PHP runtime processing, and it reckons it's running as a command line input, which is a bit odd, but there you go. And there's some other stuff that you can demonstrate that you're running inside the playground, and that is a system. There somewhere. Server software is called php.wasm. There you go. So if you wanted to, if you're writing some code and it was going to be running on the playground environment, you could actually find that if you're running in playground and then adjust your behavior accordingly. Right, not very useful thing, so I'll deactivate that plugin. Now I've lost it again. I've done something and I've no longer got that bit at the top of my playground. And I don't know why.
Try refreshing the page. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, it's come back.
Is it because I opened up a new tab? Possibly. Right. Well, let's go and click on this button here and see what this one does. That gives me a whole load of different options. So apparently I've got a saved playground called Creative Old Lake, and there's some documentation about things I can do. I can change the different version of PHP or WordPress. I can change the language, and I can do that and adjust it. And lo and behold, it changes this over here.
You can allow network access and see if you can install a plugin.
All right, let's go and do that. Don't know what that does. Oh, it does something.
Dashboard.
Right, now I wanted to know how I could get back to lose these two things over here, and I didn't have any idea. And accidentally I clicked on this button here. I think it was that one. And lo and behold, it did it. So that button changes to multiple sidebars, and these things change it back again. Maybe any one of them changes it back again.
Weird.
Maybe just clicking on that bar changes it. There you go, a learning experience. Right, plugins.
Yes.
Hey. It's good.
Well, that wasn't hard, was it?
Mm-hmm.
They say in one of those things, it says they do that for security reasons,
Mm.
which I don't really understand why that would make it less secure. But I suppose if you're not connected to the internet, then I suppose people can't see what you're doing, or I don't know.
No, well, no. Right, so done that bit. Let's go back to here again and see a bit more about these different blueprints. So apparently there's a blueprint gallery, and you can preview the blueprint and it will show you, will it? Oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. Right, I've gone into the site editor. So what? Can I go back?
I didn't go into the website.
I thought I was going to get something else happening. I thought I was going to get something showing me the blueprint source code on the left-hand side. Go to what website, Andrew?
That actual website, that's go to the website where it says my WordPress website. Isn't that where you're downloading a design for a website or something?
Yeah,
So if you go to the website, you'll see yeah, like that. You'll see
there, right.
what his idea was, I suppose.
That's it.
Not much. That wasn't what I was expecting.
Sorry.
I've gone up.
Isn't the blueprint a JSON file, which kind of defines the
Yeah,
look?
and what I saw yesterday was I clicked on it and it opened up. Hold on. Maybe I did something else.
Blueprint. Oh, let's go.
Mhm. It opened it up with the blueprint editor, where it could show you the blueprint that was written.
What's the difference between a blueprint and a theme?
The
Blueprint
blueprint
customize
is
the
this
theme.
is this JSON instructions of how to do different things. So if you happen to be a plugin developer and you want to be able to give a demo, you write a blueprint that says, here we go, this is what you do. You install that plugin, you create a new page, you put something on it, and lo and behold, you can then start showing your block or whatever it was. But it's not behaving the way I thought it was going to.
You were clicking on the preview button, weren't you?
I was, and I've also
Yeah.
clicked on that link there as well.
That's what I was going to suggest.
Oh, well,
Does that give the same?
uh,
Click on the title. Ah,
yeah, it just went straight in,
it's the
and
same, isn't it?
it didn't show me the blueprint that I was.
Documentation.
Mm.
Oh,
Never mind.
yeah.
Something that happened yesterday and it doesn't happen again today. Should we try the preview again? Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, is this just Zoom, isn't it? Is that Zoom? Or is that PowerPoint? No? Okay, I got lost. Maybe it's because we've network activated it. Start another one. You're doing it in your own browsers and finding it, how to do it, and I don't know.
So Blueprint is like saying, install this theme and these plugins and these pages.
Yeah, and there's a Blueprint HTML page or something. No, didn't want to do that, did I? Nope. Well, I've got lost again. Right. No one reading the documentation for me, telling me what I'm supposed to have done there. A Blueprint HTML editor. That is what we're supposed to be able to try to find here. Let's go back to my slides.
I think perhaps you should abandon it for this week.
We could have, because it is now.
Do proper homework next time.
Don't go and play golf. Right, well that's it then for the playground. We didn't get very far. So we did show that you could write a plugin, install a plugin of your own. You can connect and install other plugins from elsewhere. And we didn't get a chance to see our own version of any JSON files, and I didn't therefore create a theme and export a theme or export my site or anything like that. In fact, I couldn't find any of those buttons. Why couldn't I? Go back there again. Shouldn't I be able to export this somehow?
Let's reset. Playground. Save. Save and reload. Settings, logs.
Oh, there we go. Import. Where's export?
Export.
Oh, there we go. How about this? View blueprint. Ta-da!
Hey.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
Right, well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? What buttons you press.
Eventually.
So the theory is I should be able to change something in here, add some steps like login or something, and run this blueprint, and it will then change how it displays on this side here. And I could save that blueprint file to somewhere, which is what I probably did yesterday with a couple of different things.
So a blueprint is a bit like macro code then, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's setting the configuration of the site.
Yeah. So it's a bit of JSON which describes what you're supposed to do. So if I filled in this plugin name, Gutenberg, and then ran it. Oh, right. So it's got a bit of an editor there. And here you can see that all of that JSON just gets put after the hashtag. I don't understand what these hashtags are for, but when you go and visit certain places now, you get these enormously long URLs which contain all that stuff after the hash. And that's just basically saying run this. Bit more advanced than the query thing, isn't it? Is that safe? Well, you can see it is downloading Gutenberg, so it is actually paying attention to what I put in there.
Can anyone see a real use for this?
Well, the ones that they described are real uses, but you've got to have learned how to use it first of all before you can do it, I suppose. Have a throwaway website. You can try something out. You can try a plugin.
It's like, for me, that they're demonstrating the somewhat more advanced things like developing your own plugins, whereas I think it would be quite useful just to have a blank site that you could try as a sandbox if you want to know what a new theme looks like, and you install the theme, then try doing a few pages or posts to see what it's like before actually going and trying it on your live site. That's what attracted me to it. But there's obviously, it's quite sophisticated, so there's quite a learning curve.
No, I meant specifically this blueprint. I was thinking I can't see much.
This is if I was to wanted to write a demo for my plugin, then I would use a blueprint file, and then you would just click on playground.wordpress.net, and then it would specify the name of the file it would run, which is the blueprint, and lo and behold, off it goes and does it, and it does all those different things, so you get set up in the environment you want.
Why is that?
Well, you haven't had to give someone complicated instructions of how to install the plugin, where to go to next, what to do, and all that sort of stuff. You just do it for them and take them straight there.
Yeah, but you could just do that through Playground, couldn't you? You could just build it through Playground rather than build.
Yeah, this enables them to come and visit, say, your website, and they click on the link saying, see how it's done or see how it's set up, and then lo and behold, it does it for them in their own playground.
All right.
Yes, a simple use case would be something like if you were trying to test a plugin that you've written on multiple different versions of PHP or multiple different versions of WordPress, you could just keep rerunning this script you've got on the screen, but change the PHP version.
Yeah.
And it'd be a very, very quick way to try all the different versions of PHP.
Yeah. Might not be the best way of testing your plugin, because you'll still be having to run it all the time and visually checking it, as opposed to using something like PHP unit or a more advanced.
Yeah, no, assuming that your plugin works and you're about to deploy it, you may want to just check all the different versions or permutations.
Yeah.
Sense.
Right, how do I get back out of this?
Close it.
Just go back. Just don't go into Builder anymore.
Control and space. Control and in. I don't know.
Shows autocomplete. Control and
Open in new tab.
Let's just open another one.
Well, you could just close the tab then. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's redoing it again.
Yeah.
So it's running the blueprint again, isn't it?
How can you tell?
Because it's got this mode equals seamless and plugins Gutenberg there.
Yes, it is.
Right, but I've lost my little that thing again. So if I've lost that, how do I get to that to do that?
Report an error.
Well, I don't know what the error is. Apart from being stupid.
That's the one.
Now that I'm there and I've done something and I now wanted to save that, why would I want to save that? I don't know. I've left the wonderful world of play.
What happens if you click edit site on that page now?
That will probably go into the site editor, but I won't.
Yeah, but then if you then because there was one thing before where you clicked on the WordPress logo and it brought the other things up. This isn't quite the same, is it?
Yeah, but then that was when it was.
Yeah. That one. That's what I was thinking of. No.
I tried that edit site because I wanted to put a margin on the left-hand side, and I got completely lost. I didn't know how you did that.
Oh, the margin on left-hand side.
Yeah, because if you go into edit site,
Mm-hmm.
it's close there.
All right, where? Which one shall I do it to? Here?
That one, yeah. And then you go get started or something,
Mm-hmm.
then it
What, a margin to the left of this, or a margin to the left here?
yeah.
Well, that's because
When I did it, it put something on the side anyway, saying all these different templates and different.
oh right,
So I don't know.
like this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he also had other things like patterns and.
Well, if I'm in templates now. If I click on that back arrow, I'll go to the design
Oh,
part.
that's right.
So it shows all.
Did I go to patterns
You go
or
to
went
style.
somewhere or templates? I tried to add. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to add a left-hand margin, but I got to something called. Was it in templates? There was something called a left-hand margin, but I didn't know how to add it. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was
Patterns?
so maybe it was in pattern.
Was it in 2025 theme?
Oh yeah, that's so here. Yeah. All general, all template parts, all patterns. Yeah, maybe it was a different one. All template parts, 7.
That's these ones. There's 3 different header parts and 3 different footers.
Oh, is it just that then? All patterns?
70.
Oh. But I assume that the idea behind this is that you can take a theme and then customize it,
Yeah.
change it to make it look like. But I found this very. I didn't.
Right.
I
Well,
found,
so if you want to adjust the width of a theme, this is no longer the playground. This is block editor, isn't it? Site editor.
Yeah.
And you can go into styles and you go into layout, and you can set your content width. So the content width of 2025 is 645, but if we could reduce it to 400, you can see it gets a lot smaller. So you've increased this margin.
But how do you stick another thing on the side if you want to have
a sidebar?
The sidebar, that's the word. Yeah.
All right then. Okay, so let's increase the width of it to 1,000. All right, and let's go back to our templates and choose blog home. So now I want to create a sidebar. I have all the flexibility to do that. I'll go to the table of contents. You can see this group that contains the query loop and the blog title of it. So if we just convert this into columns, and then over here specify what 2 columns, then here's my left hand, which is the content, and here's the right hand bit where I can put the sidebar in. I'll just add another column. Didn't mean to do that. Why can't I put a field in another block inside this column?
Because it's not easy.
Well, it should be, shouldn't it?
It should be, yeah, but are you not really there? Are you really in the middle one or something?
No, well, let's just put another block in here. All right, there's a paragraph. Drag that into there. Now I've got a paragraph in that column. So this is my sidebar. So and inside my sidebar, I'll now put a recent posts, latest posts. All right, no surprise, we've only got one. So let's save that. Let's save in the blog home and the custom styles because I've changed the width. Go and visit the site. Can I click that button safely? Will I leave Playground or will I stay in Playground? So there is my content on the left-hand side and there's my sidebar on the right, but they're 50-50, therefore I didn't do a very good design job. Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Right. So it's not as simple as saying I just want this area and it's the right-hand sidebar of a certain width. You have to go into the theme and you have to adjust it by putting these different columns in or grids or whatever.
So if you minimize the screen, what's it look like? Is it
Well, then if I'd told it that the columns were to stack on mobile, that would go underneath. So it'll go 50-50 until it's gone underneath like there, which is what you wanted.
yeah, so it's responsive.
Yeah.
Without having to. Yeah, that's all right.
So there you go. So without destroying anyone else's website, you can do that one. Now, how do I get back to the dotty thing again? Is it because I'm in this seamless mode? Oh, by the way, all you new people, we often overrun the 1.5 hours. We used to always take 2 hours to do these things, and now we can quietly do it. But it's quite okay for you to leave if you wish. Right, so where are we now? I'm editing the blog home template. If I go to styles and I go to layout, I can go and change the width to 1,000. And I can go back here and I can go and change this to columns. I can change the columns, come out of styles, go back into the settings, change it to 2 columns. Somehow get to this column and insert another item into it. There's the plus that we're supposed to have found. So I can put in my latest posts and I can add after my slash categories list. And I can save that. Visit the site. There's the recent posts. There's the uncategorized post. Now I should be able to click on this and choose that and download a zip. And there is my WordPress Playground, which I should theoretically, if I knew what the command line was, start up another one and import that zip file, and lo and behold, it'd be like that.
You can just open up another one and import it, don't you? You don't need the command line.
Oh, can I? Right.
Yeah, just in the same way you've exported it. You import it from that file. That's what he showed in another one.
Where did I do the import?
Well, he had some things at the top of his screen, didn't he? Which, but I don't know where you actually What about those three dots?
I clicked on the three dots.
There's somewhere you can import.
Settings and reset.
On the top of his screen, he had a bit like this.
Have I got to do that first of all, do you think?
No, not if you're importing. I don't think.
Maybe you have to publish it, do you?
Well, I exported
No,
it.
because you've got it stored on your hard disk now, so you should be able to pull it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. His question is, where's the open? What's the little menu buttons on the left column there?
All right.
Hey.
No.
Is that going to work?
We'll find out.
Yeah, choose file.
Good eyes there, Steve.
Thank you.
Shows you're paying attention.
Where did you store it?
I saved it in playground.wordpress.net. Is that it? What's the date today?
Yeah, time's right.
Okay. Ta-da! There's my site.
Hey.
And then I click on that and it goes back up to full thing.
Okay.
There you go.
And now you have to export it to WordPress.
What?
And,
Oh,
the site, you can export it to WordPress and then open it up in a real WordPress.
Can I open that up in WordPress? Because it's got an SQLite file, not a real database.
I thought you said you can export it to WordPress. But maybe not.
I don't know. We have to go and read some documentation on that.
It was in the first video.
but it sounded like that was the mechanism to do it.
You can import and export from a playground, but can you actually bring it into your real WordPress website?
I thought that was in the first video he said.
I thought so too.
Otherwise, in some ways, there's not a lot of point to this, is there? If you can't actually build something.
No, he imported the theme, which he created using Create Block Theme.
What happens if you press on that star, that clock, that cog?
This star?
Yeah.
Settings.
No, it's not there, is it?
No.
If you go back and review Adam's video, I suspect it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, but that was written about a year and a half ago or something, so it's probably changed. I think if we did this thing and did the RTFM, it might tell us how to do that.
What does F stand for?
Flaming.
Fine.
Flipping.
Flipping?
Yes.
Oh, is it? Oh, because it's got real pages. Right. Anyway, there we go. That's an exercise for the reader. This was WordPress Playground 001, not 101 or 202.
That's good.
So, right, let's see if I can get back to some PowerPoint stuff.
So what did you think of it then, Herb?
What?
Playground.
I'm sure if we'd have put more effort, if I'd have...
No, what did you think of it? You played with it a bit. Were you impressed?
Well, I didn't get far enough to do things for my own plugins and all that sort of stuff.
You don't have any opinion about it?
I was thinking of other things whilst I was doing it yesterday and the day before.
Did it help your golf play?
No.
It's no good then, is it?
The reason it didn't help my golf because I decided...
when I looked at it, I suddenly thought, oh, wow, I can get our users to design the website.
No.
They can actually go in there and I don't think you can do
because
that.
it would disappear the next day. The next time you go in, it's gone.
No, you save it, don't you?
Well, yeah, if you remember to save it. I had enough problems with Create Block Theme, saving it, and it ended up being a different theme from what I started with.
All right.
And, of course, it deleted all the original stuff, so there wasn't even in the database.
So it's rubbish.
I don't know what went wrong that day. Maybe I clicked a button by mistake and didn't notice it. And it reset it without me realising. Right, slideshow. Let's go and go. Come on, mouse. I don't want to do that. Why is everything so difficult?
Old age.
Yeah, it is. I don't want to do that either. Well, there we go. That's where I'm supposed to be. Right, so what we're going to do next year, I haven't got time to discuss it. We'll have some discussions at some point. I know I'm going to be away on holiday in March and April, so I missed a couple of them. So how are we going to discuss these things? Have we got time to discuss it? Anyone got any particular requirement from one of those or something different? Or I could suggest talking about events and future events. What do you use, Andrew? Events calendar.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was using one called All-in-One Events Calendar, and suddenly they changed the way they did things, and it didn't work anymore unless you signed up for their software as a service solution. And I thought, I've had enough of that. I'll go and write my own. And then suddenly realized how stupid WordPress is. It doesn't understand things in the future. They have to be scheduled. They don't actually exist. You can't actually create events which happen in the future.
You can with the events calendar.
Well, you can, yes, but it doesn't sort of behave WordPressy, does it?
I don't know what that means.
Well, you don't have events archives in the same sort of way. It's all written its own stuff. It's not flexible. It has its look and feel, which you can work hard with to change.
You mean you don't approve of the coding?
Yeah.
There's not a WordPress function to do this.
Well, it's taken a bit of WordPress and made it harder to do something if you wanted to integrate it in a certain way, I think.
Because the events calendar will show you events in the future.
Yeah, I know it does that, yes, but it doesn't do it in a sort of standard WordPress style, which doesn't exist, of course.
You're selling that argument, you really are.
Right, let's move on then. Not discuss events calendars.
Well, I used to try and write WordPress code, and I always was in tears looking at it because it wasn't WordPressy. I didn't use the proper WordPress functions. I suppose he's got a point, but he's a WordPress expert, and I'm a WordPress idiot.
No, you're not. You're an expert. Right, let's not discuss that one. Right, move on. Right, so thank you very much to the sponsors for the word camps and so on. Thank you very much for those people who joined this month. There are now 93 countries, 639 groups, 500,000 people, and 660 are members of the Portsmouth WordPress Meetup. And who's still here? Oh, right, Steve, where do you say you're from? Oxford.
Oxfordshire.
So you've got an active WordPress community, haven't you? And you also went to Cambridge, so there's 1,854 people who are members of the WordPress Cambridge Meetup.
Yep.
And because we didn't attend their meetup this month, we don't know what they're going to do next month.
No, they were having Christmas drinks, I think, this month.
Yeah. So we don't know what the January one is until they schedule it.
That's right.
Right, there's our charts from the website, and this is what's happened. So 2 days ago was State of the Word in Tokyo, and you can click on that link, which you can find these slides on the WP Pompey website. Click on that link to go and watch the YouTube, or just go and search for it, or you'll see it in wordpress.org anyway. New Year's Day in 2 weeks' time. Have you made any resolutions? Are you going to make any resolutions? Maybe we could discuss those resolutions you made on the 22nd of January, which could be when we have the next meetup. Next year, WordPress 6.89 and 7 will be released, and WordCamp Europe is in Switzerland, 5th to 7th of June. That's what we did last year. This is what we did this year. And there you go. There have now been 11.83 billion total downloads of plugins from WordPress.org of which WordPress SEO is 750 million total downloads. 750 million downloads for one little plugin. Thank you again, Scott, and for being a sponsor since January 2018 and to 34SP. And that is it. I'm going to stop recording now.
That'll take some editing.
Well, I haven't done the other two yet, so it'll take a while, isn't it?